ain't going live.
Live.
Go ahead.
We good.
Just going back. Hold on. Hey, just going back. Yeah, Revelation 1. Come on, skin color. Yeah, Revelation 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool. It's his head and his hairs were white like wool. Come on. Now, hold on. Number one, cancel that shit out. His hair's not white. It's the Bible. It's Revelation 1. You can go into your own Bible and look at it. Revelation 1. Read it again. That counts Jesus Christ out right now, man. Which when you go into that history, Nick Payne pretty chest right for here. That's what that guy goes back. That's really an actual person in deal during the Renaissance period. But he was a damn a wicked ass dude. You see what I'm saying? But that's what they taught us. Again, that's what they all our years we was calling, we was believe to call upon Jesus Christ, but Jesus ain't did shit to me. Yahweh Shai did, that his head and his hairs were white like wool. It's white as snow. It's white as snow. His eyes was a flame of fire. And his eyes was a flame of fire, man. Got it. And it's hey, going into that wool. What color your hair is? What texture your hair is? It's woolly. Woolly, right? It's a fro.
I know what wool look like.
Yeah, fucked up. Hey, you right, bro, because again, it's
trying to look at how they handle it. Your point. Like that's how the lower hair was. It's called woolly hair. Don't call it nasty, but it's woolly.
It's woolly. And it's a type of flavor that comes with it, man. It's a certain level of life that comes with hair like that. Because again, their hair is not woolly. That's goat hair. You see what I'm saying? It's spring. So it counts him out. Got it? It says, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace. Now let me ask you something. What color is brass? Like a gold brownish color. Now what happens when you burn it in the furnace? It turns darker. It turns to a darker version of brown. You see what I'm saying? So that's the color of the Lord. On Jeremiah 14, I think like 7 through the 4, back into the ground. Jeremiah 14 and 7. Oh Lord. Yeah, Jeremiah 14 and 2. It says, to the mortals and the gates thereof blameless, they are black unto the ground. They are black unto the ground, man. And again, even though you say black unto the ground, but that was the spirit of the Lord comparing the tribe of Judah to a dark-skinned man. You go into the book of Hebrews, it is evident that the Lord sprang out of the tribe of Judah, man. You know what I'm saying? So if he's a Judite and out for the same, he must be from the Negroid descent. You feel me? But again, just going back, and we are the most blessed people upon the planet Earth, and nobody can deny it, bro. All the inventions, all the flavors, even music, bro. Every version of music, the Israelites have pushed that out there, man. Music, clothing. Let's go for lack of better words, different vibes, different trees, by the planet Earth. Who do they use to push one? They don't use a white person. They don't use but the Taylor Swift to push forth a different outfit. No. They use rappers, now that bitch gorilla, that fuck nigga Freeho. You know what I'm saying? They use her to push forth a different agenda. And rightfully so, because everywhere we go, they follow us, man, because we're the most blessed. We the coolest motherfuckers on the planet Earth, bro. Everybody want to be a nigga to his time to be a nigga. You see what I'm saying? Again.
Daniel 7:9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. The Ancient of Days did sit.
And who was this time? This time about Heavenly Father. In which say it says, I look just like my father. Okay?
Whose garment was white as snow, and his hair of his head like the pure wool.
Like the pure wool. Again, going back into that bro, because again, how this white man wants you to do, he wants you to run away from that haircut, back in the back in the 70s, had that big ass bro. That's a sense of honor, a sense of that's an honor, that's a sense of swag right there. You feel me? Got it? So
Proverbs chapter 12, 26. Going back, it says the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
Right there, it says the righteous are more excellent than his neighbor. Hey, we better than all these wicked niggas, man. Especially these other heathens, bro. You feel me? Again, you going to so-called white men, niggas like that, bro. We are more excellent in them on all levels spiritually. The only thing they got more than us is more money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
says, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
It says, but the way of the wicked seduces them. That's why a lot of niggas set out. You go into the times of like hip hop, guys that's going into entertainment or whatever. They gotta be seduced. They gotta sell themselves, sell your body, sell your soul, sell your spirit in order to get to that certain level, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, just going back, brother, if y'all brothers got time, we gonna go deep into it because, but for lack of better words, bro, we are the chosen people. Man. Again, when you are chosen people, you are chosen race. There's a certain level of decorum or a certain level of integrity you have to carry yourself around with. It. And we won't walk around here while our ass sagging, and just come around here being a fucking nigga. No, we carry ourselves royalty, man. That's how Israel's supposed to carry ourselves, man. We ain't no fucking crack babies. We ain't no fucking low level niggas, man. We the nation of Israel, the most blessed people upon the planet Earth, man.
Book of Deuteronomy. This is all book, by the way. It's all book. Right? Once you change them, once you understand the true color of the Lord, that you look like us, then you understand how we got here, right? The book tell you how we got here, tell you why we killing each other, and tells you what's gonna happen in the future. It's not like a dead book, like a Harry Potter book or something. Don't come, this Bible predicts what's gonna happen in the future. That's what makes it separate than every other book. The most bought book, most sold book, most coveted book. So this is Deuteronomy 4, verse 6, right? Y'all can always look these up. So it says, Deuteronomy 4 and 7. For what nation is there so great who has God so nigh unto it?
See, and just going back, the Lord, that's why we went to the war in the state that those guys are in Israel today. We are really the children of Israel, man. But once you go into the church, once you go into the name Israel, in the Hebrew is Yasharada, which means what? Princes of the power. Which means what? We have a direct pipeline to the Most High. For lack of better words, man. Yeah?
Says, as the Lord our power, our God is in all things that we call upon him for.
See?
What nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day?
And that's it. It says, "Great nation is so great." And again, y'all agree with me? We're the greatest people on the planet Earth. It's not what great responsibilities. Having the laws that you commit that would set us apart. Even though we can't keep the laws 100%, but even simple things like stop. Like eating pork, that shit really throw your body off and shit like that. That shit really throw you off the course. Little things like that. The Lord told us don't do it. Why? Because that's actually you debasing yourself to witness. Now, if you royal, you an honorable man, you the bitch, man. You gonna fuck with the boat. That's the same thing.
I got the law for you real quick. Leviticus 20:13. If a man also lie with mankind,
Yep.
as he lied with a woman.
And what man lie with mankind? It's being gay. Now again, in this certain society, y'all spend in high school, and elementary to high school, there's more and more gay people that come to school. Man. More and more guys being like that. You know why? Because they live in this society, bro. They basically, instead of them being honorable and having integrity, they debase themselves in wickedness, man.
It says Leviticus 20:13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lied with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
And that's the consequence of having a so-called foe around. I want to can't say what I want to say that because if you do, then that's a hate crime. That's hate. But I'm just, that's supposed to be freedom. But just going back, it's a penalty behind being a vote. Because why? It's wickedness coming around, and all of a sudden, if you don't do away with that wickedness or put that wickedness down, then it's gonna spread.
Lord says, you're not create, seed without woman. So that's an abomination. Yeah.
against life. Yes, it's contrary to life. You look at it just at a base level. Even if you take this book out the equation, what happens if we put 100 gay people on the island by themselves? What's going to happen about 200 years? Come back. What's going to happen? Who's going to be there? Can't reproduce. So just in that in itself, against life. Life is supposed to reproduce. These trees got to reproduce. Plants got to reproduce. In order to eat, you got to grow crops and eat it, right? But if the soil don't take on the crop, then we can't eat. Same with animal life, plant life, everything in life needs it has reproductive organs so that it can grow. But with homosexuality, man, you don't get any of that. And you get perverseness. Let's be honest with you. The whole thing is LGBTQ is that it's going to add the P. Y'all know what the P stand for? Pedophilia. See, in ancient Rome, where America got its start from, ancient Rome, pedophilia, sleeping with little boys was a regular thing. You look at the Roman Empire and you Google it, you Google Greek Empire, it was sleeping with little boys. That means a grown man had a little boy next to him. That wasn't his son. That was his partner. That was normal in ancient Rome. They had a Roman emperor named Caligula. He married his horse. So that bestiality, that's in the Bible too. You can't sleep with animals. So the Bible gives you a code and instruction to live by, and now it's almost like it's so pushed far away that you don't have it no more, that the people just do what they want to do. That's why you see a Jay-Z with a shirt, do what thou will. That goes back to the phrase by this man, Alistair Crowley. He was the top Satanist in America, right? Satanism is to have sex with those too. For real. That's why y'all know Epstein is? Y'all heard about the whole Epstein trial? Y'all knew that like a lot of actors and famous politicians went to his island and was popping little boys and doing all that. And as soon as the information came, they say he hung himself, and right? He hung himself. Yeah. And then the trial came by, and then the woman named all the people that was there. Never heard anything about it. There's a reason why they try to hush that down, because this society's perverted. I got something else. Job 9:24. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. Now the wicked, when you go into the Bible, all people who come out of the tribe of Israel, Israel's name first was Jacob, right? The first tribe you see here is Judah, so-called Negroes. Y'all, that's, and it comes to your father's line, not your mother. So you got people that look like they not all people, like Justin Timberlake, or even a Justin Bieber. You see how they got moves like us, but they don't look like us. That's like a stumbling block for our people. They don't consider it just because they got a different shade or color that they still look at Blake Griffin in the NBA. His dad is as dark as you, and his son, because he got a white wife, his son looked like one of them. But watch when his son get older. See, your spirit belongs to your father. Your father's line conduct who your spirit is. So, got that? Grab it real quick.
The book of Numbers 1:18.
Because your father got the seed. See, inside the sperm is the seed. That's already who the child is going to be. All you do is plant it in a woman. Go ahead.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigree after their family.
Now, where you find? I might grab that real quick. All right? You heard that word before, pedigree? Huh? Say again? Authority? All right. No, what you think of me? Huh? Authority?
Like isn't a pedigree like
We're gonna get it. You found it?
Yeah, kind of the word pedigree. It says,
Hey, the Bible says prove all things. So even if you guess, that's cool. Yeah, we're gonna prove it eventually, right? And that's how you stop all the noise. Somebody want to say, well, I think this is it. Like, well, let's prove that. Go ahead.
it says, the record ancestry.
Record, ancestry. What's your ancestry? Yeah, your grandparents to their grandparents to their grandparents. Go ahead. That's your family line. Your roots. Go ahead.
It says, especially upper class ancestry of a person or family.
Of a person or family. So this dealing with the Bible deal with family lines. That's why we got a line of our nation who they are. Today, you know how many different times our names changed in America since we've been here in captivity, since we brought here on slave ship. They call us niggas first, Negroes, Afro-Americans, Nubians, colored. Then it changed to African American in the 70s. That term just came around.
Black.
Now then it's black. Now it's black. You know, that's a sign, the symbol of a people that don't know who they are. But according to the Bible, you got one. You come from your father, so it shouldn't be no confusion. Because
It says, and they declared their pedigree
they declared their ancestry
after their family
after their families. Go ahead.
by the house of their
By the
father.
house of their what?
Father.
About your father's line. You can have a white mother. Your father come from this line, you still an Israelite. That's what happened in the case of a lot of our people during slavery. Some of them were sleeping with the women, and some of the slaves was having babies with the slave master wives. So things got a little, but it goes back to the spirit. Your spirit kind of show who you are anyway, right? And the spirit of an Israelite, we like to dance. We like to set trends. We different. Our spirit is different. The Bible calls us the salt of the earth. Like the brothers going into everything cool. We decide was cool. We decide was right. We decide was going to be. And furthermore, in our ancestry, when you go back, we decided what was holy and what wasn't holy.
Romans 8:14. For as many as are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of the Most High.
You gotta be led by the Spirit of the. You learn about the Spirit of the Most High through this word. There's another symbol sign that our spirit is different than them. When we get money, what do we do with our money? Flash, man. Go ahead, Google the picture of little baby right now. Look how he looks. That's what we do with our money. We look royal when we get money. From royalty. He got all the money he can blow right now. Blow enough $10. You're gonna spend it on something. Flash. But they ain't in they pedigree. That's not in their spirit.
I got something. Going up in Romans 8:14, it says, for as many as are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of the Most High. I'm going to jump down to 16.
Right.
It says, the Spirit itself bear witness for our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Spirit, which is this word. The word is known as the spirit. It's the living testimony of how God chose the people, chose the race. Can I get on the chosen people to kill your people? 76. Right. See, the Bible tells a story. Ultimately, it tells a story about the chosen people. Of all nations on the earth, God chose the people. Did you know that? Were you ever taught that? You ever go to church? Did they what they teach in the church? Like what they teach? Like listen to your parents and stuff like that. But then they told you like bow down to this man to save, right? Did you understand what that meant? What they meant by that? Like worship. Right. Like, what does that all mean? Like, what does it all mean? Like, what do you mean bow down to a man and you're gonna say, what does that mean? Where he at? Like, don't they add more questions to your mind instead of answers? Like, that's how I left the church. Like, you think like live right, and you can understand what it means. Like, okay, the son of God, like that. But really, when they throw this picture out here, that's just gonna confuse them more. Because what you do know is that God came here on slaves. History, right? A little history doesn't teach you that. We came here as slaves. So we know that slave masters look like that. So the first thing we thinking is like, what the heck? Like, what you mean? The slave master is who we got to bow down to get salvation. Well, when you go into the Bible, what they don't want you to know is really the truth. The Lord, instead of looking like that, where they lied about the image, he came more y'all color with woolly hair. He looked like us. That's our people. Go ahead.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 76.
Now, if they taught you that, what would you do as slaves? What you would have did if they taught you? Yeah, you would have rebelled. But you would have rebelled. You would have fought back. They couldn't teach you that. I would have gave you the blueprint of how to fight back, rebel. You ever heard of Nat Turner? That was a slave revolt. You look that up. There's a movie that came out not too long ago. It's called Birth of a Nation. It was a slave that rebelled. No, when he was, before he rebelled, he was a pastor. But he understood that the Bible talking about something different than what the Bible talking about. He real with it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Slave battle. only certain scriptures. Thou shalt serve thy master and things like that. The whole Bible was produced. They ain't push out the whole Bible. They just put out certain verses to basically fuck up your mind. Yeah, 60% of the Bible was taken out. It was on 40% that was saying, serve thy master, things like that. Which really, that's why Esau, he didn't want to get the fullness of the Bible, man, the fullness of the truth. Because once you go into the Baptist church, they only preach for 15 minutes and do a song and dance for the rest, don't they? You know?
Yeah, how long? Right. Have we sang for you yet? Have we danced for y'all yet? This is what church really feel like. You know the word church is the Greek word, ecclesia. You know what it means? It means call out. Call out. This is where we call out at. Don't you know the Lord, when he was teaching, he taught in the synagogues, but where he really taught at was outside, outdoors. But the people walk by and hear it. And they stop. You can hear it because you spoke on the hilltops and the multitude. He preached from a ship before to the shoreline where hundreds of people was at. That's why they had an issue with. He wasn't going to them, the authority. He was going straight to the people. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 76 said, but thou art the holy people unto the Lord Yahweh with thy power.
What does it mean to be a holy people? What's holiness? Holiness means separate and it means pure, upright, perfect. So the Lord said, we are holy people. We're not impure. We're not wicked. We're not evil. You talk about child pedophilia. Yeah. Does that sound like something y'all interested in? Sound like something fun? You talk about, I don't know, like shooting up schools. That sound interesting to y'all? Because y'all holy people, it's already in your mind. I don't even gotta know more about y'all personally. I don't know you from a hole in the wall, brothers, but we know because y'all of all people, you know, y'all got pure thoughts, and y'all probably fight them people thoughts every day, huh? What y'all think about Zion Way? What y'all think about Zion Way? Huh? That's what's popping right now. I mean, because he representing y'all generation, like, or she, or whatever. Bro. What y'all think? Like, what y'all think about that? Now, growing up, like, I'm 36. Growing up, worst thing you could be called was like, right? Nowadays, you can't even say that word. But I'm just saying, well, the point we making here that the Bible already told us who we are. We looking everywhere else except for it. That's where the answer is at. Go ahead, out. So we say holy people. Now we know that holy people are different than everybody else. Right?
It says, how about Shemashah, that power have chosen me to be a special people unto himself.
The power above. Because God, with the word God in the Bible, in the Hebrew, this is translated from the Hebrew. We Hebrew Israelites. Right? The Hebrew is the language. Right? But it's a person that come along with that. Israelites is the people that let you know what father we came from. His name was Israel. And Israel is a Hebrew word that means Yasha Allah, it means princes of the power. So now we ain't just regular princes. Power is God. That's the supreme power. That's the supreme judge. You understand? That's what we are. We princes. We're supposed to feel like that. It's different. You're supposed to walk around here, head down, over here like this, whatever. Nah, man, we walk like princes, man, because we feel in our spirit. Go ahead. What the Bible tells you?
The Lord Yahweh, thy power have chosen thee to be.
Read it from the top.
Yeah, from the top. For thou art the holy people unto the Lord Yahweh.
Number one, off the jump, you're a holy people. If you're from Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're a holy people. It don't matter what state you're in, the condition you in, your people in right now. It don't matter if they walk by with crack pipes. It don't matter if they fagged out and all this LGBT. It don't matter. You still come from a holy people. They just bugging out. Go ahead.
The Lord Yahweh, thy power have chosen thee.
He chose you. Go ahead.
To be a special people unto himself. A special people unto himself.
If you ain't felt special in your life, you don't understand who you are. Bible tell you that the Most High chose you to be a special people. Now watch this, right?
It says above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Now how you get equality out of that? We sound like God want equality for you, or do He want you to be above all the rest of the people? What that means is that I don't mean that you start walking around smacking the hell out of you. That means that your mind, You already know. Huh? There it is. And what that word means. Greater, better, in every quality, form, fashion, in every way. How your mind work, how you move, how you run. Go ahead. So he chose you. It ain't like we did anything to deserve it. He was born into this line. Could have just thank God he wasn't born a white man. Less is what you call it. Inferior, yeah. You could have been born in the inferior race. Because there's way more other races. By the way, we got the civil nation sign here. It's kind of stuck. You know, it's a lot. I want y'all to see this real quick. I want y'all to get a little history lesson. The Bible deal with all types of peoples in the Bible. These are the other nations, ones that you don't come from. This is their biblical name. There's great confusion going on in the world right now. Nobody knows who they are biblically. This word white man, the black man, that came around in the 1800s. They did that to further divide people up. And they wrote laws that said a white man or a white woman, if she has a child with a black man, that child would be a slave. That child would still be considered a slave. They wrote laws and codes in the 1800s to classify you as black. Before they ain't something called black. We came over here understanding we was Jews. So they beat it out of us. That's how we got like this. Now you can see it. You can predict how long a nigga gonna live based on how he act. I think he ain't gonna live that long.
That's where he's from.
Huh? Where he from? But how his mind is.
He's brought up. I mean, and that's why Musa said, if I make it 25, then you were OG. By by 22, 23, they expect you to be in jail. You know, a dead one.
And why is that, man? Because we taking on understand a way of life that's not ours. You could be in America but not be American minded. You understand? Right.
Yeah, God.
Right.
Yeah, Jeremiah 17:4 says, and thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine inheritance that I gave you.
What do you mean to discontinue? Y'all on point, man. They on point. Y'all grade point average. Y'all bringing home A's.
Y'all like school? He got straight A's right now.
What's up with you though? He's quiet. Huh? You straight A's too?
No, pass it though. Hey, do y'all like school? To a certain extent for the women and shit like that.
It's Christian.
Yeah.
It's gonna get you where you want. Like it's like you gotta get you.
That's the thing. Everything.
Yeah, I was about to say college even more scam, man. Y'all ain't got a free ride. Yeah, that's the rest of your life. Black Americans are more debt than any other people in the world because of student loan. Yeah. Well, the rest of your life you can't. Ain't nothing but a new mortgage. That's new slavery. You in debt, that's the different form of slavery. They had something during the same time we were slaves. They had indentured slave servitude. That was white people on the cotton fields too, but they worked themselves into debt. They had to serve it off. But so the first form of debt is slave. The first form of slavery is debt. I remember that. I was taking out these loans. I signed over $10,000 like it's no tomorrow. Right now I can't get $10,000 from the bank to save my life. But they give it to me through the loan. It's all a scam, man. Go ahead,
Jeremiah 17:4 again, and thou.
Continue.
Oh yes, he says, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Read that again. Discontinue.
And thou even thyself shalt discontinue.
Thou, that means you. This is Old English. Old Testament is ran in Old English. In the New Testament, King James Version. This book was authorized by King James. It didn't start with King James. It was translated from Hebrew into English since the time of King James was a black man, by the way. They don't teach you that in school. Right? So King James decided, I'm going to translate I'm going to get my best scholars and translators and create a book in English. That's what they were speaking. They were speaking over there in English. So he took the Hebrew and he broke it down in English. So he said thou and canst, right? But what it means is you. Thou means you. So read again.
And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine inheritance.
So he said, you and all your people shall discontinue from thy heritage. What's a heritage? It's your heritage. You got to talk about your heritage. What's your heritage? I get the definition of heritage. And by the way, yeah. What you said? You said something like a bloodline. Who said that? All right. Let's keep that close enough. What you got? Hey, student. All right. Heritage. Go ahead.
The word heritage, it says property that is or may be inherited or inherited. It says
Hey, similar to the word inherited. Go ahead.
it says like it's a special or individual possession for an allotted person.
Go ahead.
It says ancestral estate.
Ancestral estate. Once again, to go back to pedigree. Heir. Right? Heir means you're next on the line. You're next to the king. You're prince. Prince. Remember, our name is Israelite, Prince of the Power. Yasha Allah. We the princes of the power. We the next. A prince got to be a king eventually. You don't just stay a prince forever. We about to be kings. Really? So, but we said we discontinue from our heritage, meaning now we don't know where we at. We don't know left from right. We don't know who we are. Go ahead.
Continuing on, it says, now will cause thee to serve thine enemy.
I'm going to cause you to serve your enemy. What slavery was all about? Bullshit. Saying, look, y'all going to serve your enemies. There's some of them go. Right? Some of, a lot of them make up the Illuminati right there. Y'all ever heard of Rothschild family? Yeah, so-called Jews. Y'all heard Jews? Jews. Hey, y'all know they run the world. That's just facts. Bible said, we just read it, the wicked shall inherit the earth. The earth shall be given into the hand of the wicked. And Most High decided, since we was going to play our cards right, we're going to give it into the wicked hand. Now y'all going to see what it's like when wicked people rule the world. Okay, good. Now y'all got proper rate to enjoy. All right. Now the dude in your classroom, it's a her, and he ain't just looking at you because he like your sneakers. Feeling you. All right.
I got something for you real quick.
But that's is there more than that?
Yeah, I can finish it off. Yeah,
Finish it off. So the Most High said we're gonna discontinue from understanding who we are. So we lost. That's why the Bible calls us the lost tribes of Israel. We walk around lost, but guess what? A lost person eventually we're gonna be what? There you go. They always send that over. A lost person gonna be what? See, that's a condition of our people. Turn your head. You get a live example when you go outside. That's the condition of our people. Go ahead.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in a land or in the land which thou knowest not.
But your parents not gonna tell you because they don't want you to they don't want you to lose hope out here. They don't want you to be they don't want you to turn misguided or get mad and angry. This thing ain't emotional. We're not emotional. If we could talk about slavery, it's still not getting emotional. We could bring out pictures of how we came here on the ships, how they had us chained up. We could bring out these pictures, not get emotional. When you have education, real education means growing from within. That's what education means. So we enlightened because we already got it in our head. We just relearning it. We teaching you what you already know. You haven't been here before. You knew this. Bring that out. Go ahead, out. So we discontinue, meaning we discontinue, which means we used to know it, but it stopped somewhere. And where it stopped at, when we were slaves, they beat it out of us. We used to know it. That's why this slavery was different. Look, there go your enemy right there. What's up, Bob? That's what they do, because they feel uneasy about what they do. You think you want to talk to me about what happened here? What he gonna say when I ask him about what happened? Think he want to have a conversation about this? Why? Why? Huh? Say it again. What he said? They beat him? Yeah. They don't want to. They beat it out of him. They don't want to talk about this because they feel guilty because their fathers did this to them. When they was hanging us on trees right here, and gathering around, they called it a picnic. That's where you get the word picnic from. Picnic, barbecue. They brought their little kids here. You look around, you're gonna see young ages watching them. Yeah, you walk around in the wrong area, still to this day. Some downtowns and whatnot. But this was a common practice. That's why they got photographs. You know what they did with these photographs? They sent them out, postcards. Hey, just wanted to show you what we did. We killed the nigga over here in Coleman. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your year. Yeah, come visit us right back. Take a piece of the nigga's head. But then they take the body and chop it up and divide it between people and they put it in dogs. The reason why we don't get all want to start kicking ass right now is because we understand the whole game plan. Most of the time, this whole thing from beginning to end, we come out victorious. That's where the Lord come right back in. That's where the Lord, they call Jesus Christ. His name was Yahweh Shai. That's where he come back in. Go ahead.
I'm just going back into it because it ain't like they got away, but they did the slavery. The Lord, he can get ready to pay these devil tax. It's the book of Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
What's perpetual mean? Long lasting. Right? You ever heard of a perpetual long lasting? That means it keeps picking. Take it up and you wind yourself up and just keep going. You don't need no batteries. Perpetual means keep going. Everlasting. Well, they had a perpetual hatred. That means their hatred don't never stop. Don't never stop. That smile, that's just the outside. What the inside saying? I don't give a damn. You smile at me. What you thinking about me? If I would say perpetual hatred, so they always gonna hate. They're gonna shake your hand and hate at the same time. If I would say with drawing swords behind their back. I know we got a song real quick. Might grab that. I said, you gotta understand how your enemy think out here. Because we under the rank rule of our enemies. Our enemies run the world. Understand that. We ain't running nothing right now. We ain't got no water, nothing. We don't got no military power. We don't got nothing. So you're supposed to feel like a little desperate. That's why we asking the Lord to watch over us. Go ahead.
Because Psalm 50 and 21, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such one as thyself, but I will reprove
That ain't the one I'm looking for. But swords, strong swords in their hand. Yeah. Back to that.
Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, now shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Shed the blood of the children of Israel. That's what slavery was about. Go ahead.
It says, it has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword.
Did it with your sword. They came over here with guns, swords, killed us down, whipped us, beat us, lynched us, hung us, raped our women. You know what they used to do to the women? Prove an example. Right? Tie her up and take a pregnant woman, cut the baby out of her stomach, let the baby fall to the ground and stomach. But all the rest of the thing. Let the dogs chew it up. Or they would take babies. They'd take your newborn son, steal it in the middle of the night, and use it for gator bait. You know what that means? Yeah, throw it out to the gators with a rope attached to his neck, let the gator chew it up, then come and kill the alligator for no shoes. Yeah, then they made little figurines out of it, little pencils and little figurines. So this their history. That's why they can walk by smiling. That's why they make sure that we ain't in your schools. You think if we was your teacher, what do you think you'd learn? You might walk out of that class with, strapped up. Which one of y'all fret? There's a reason why we ain't in your school. Guess what? That's why the Lord put us out here. This is where you're gonna get the real education. Go ahead.
It says, therefore, it's like it says, in the time their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood.
The Lord said, since you did that to my people, I'm going to prepare you to blood. I'm going to set you up. You're going to get yours. Since you gave them that type of treatment, I'm gonna give you some certain type of treatment. Huh? No, to them. To them that did.
Edomite, right? Now, I want to say, if I may add, because we talking about the going back to the pedigree, I was talking about things like that. It goes back into Edomite, your bloodline. Now, okay, and white people, wide stroke. Certain white people, there's Jakes, like Eminem, Make Griffin, Justin Timberlake. Those are actually the nation of Israel, like Israelites. But guys like Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, those are Edomites. Guys like that. That's what the Lord is talking about, man. Those are the Edomites that He's gonna put in slavery. He's doing the same Jakes. That's Edomites. You know, y'all done heard of Colin Powell? Colin Powell, he could be an Edomite. You see what I'm saying? Because I think he's dead a so-called white man. Down the line, he's dead a so-called white man. Y'all ever watch Chicken George and shit like that? His dad was a so-called white man. So he was going to get put in slavery. You know what I'm saying? He had a part in it. His bloodline had a part in putting us down. You know? They benefited off of us. That's why it's a such thing now called white privilege. And that privilege didn't come just 5 or 10 years ago. No, that privilege was built up over the years of our oppression. You know, but again, it's not all so-called white, quote unquote, white people. It's all people. You see what I'm saying? Not to be shallow about it. You feel me? I'm gonna read this again. Ezekiel 36, 35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live.
Look that smile. I tell you every time. I'm gonna say it all the time. It's called a guilty conscience. Yeah. All right? It's called a guilty conscience. When y'all break out of that mind frame that y'all understand who y'all are as a people, as the Israelite people, they ain't got nothing to say against that. Now you a threat. You the threat. You was always supposed to be. Start with your mind. And once again, like we talked about earlier, right? You said she kind of got the spirit of all people. Right here, it's like she got the color of that. That could be confusing for a lot of people. That's why I've been talking to you about pedigree, your father's line. A lot of mixed race. There ain't no such thing as a mixed race. You are what your father is.
That's why scripture put out our spirit that we best spirit. Because you might meet a white girl or a white woman, you just click it with y'all click. You see what I'm saying? That's really just the spirit of the Lord. She putting on you know, new different type of sounds and shit like that.
Yeah, you ain't got whip her up. You ain't gotta be like, yeah. But I still hate you. She don't understand. She don't even understand. But it's, all that matters, you understand. Women really, in the Bible tell you, women ain't gonna understand a lot of things. You gotta understand that too. Women ain't gonna understand. So you know, I don't know how many of y'all have y'all fathers in your life or whatever. That's really not a normal thing for our people these days. So just understand, if you was raised by your mom, that means you're gonna have more of you're gonna have a more feminine way about you. You're gonna have a more emotional mind. You know what I'm saying? So when a man talks to you, you're gonna feel like he yelling at you. You're gonna feel off like you got, right? That's why everybody try to rip up and because they scared. Really, is they don't like masculinity anymore. But really, you was made to be you're a man. So you got masculine ways and tendencies. Your mind, even the way your brain matter is. Women got different. Their brain is even different. There's something called gray matter. Look at how much a woman got compared to a man. Your brain is even molecular makeup of your brain is different. You're not even supposed to think the same. In war, if a big boom happen right now, they run. Y'all just gonna look around like what to do next. Y'all brain's different. Yeah. Listen, man. Let me tell you something, man. You talk about high value men. You know, the highest value man is the Israelite man, which is brothers. They are more holy. They was chosen to be that way. The way your mind works, they wish their mind worked the same way. Go ahead, This is where we get it from. This is where we understand it from. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 35 and 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood.
You're going to take our enemies and get them ready to bleed. Go ahead.
And blood shall pursue me.
Y'all know what judgment means? Y'all know what justice is? What's justice? What's vengeance? These words you gotta get familiar with. Because history tell you the story of how you ended up like this, but it also gives you the understanding how things are going to play out in the future. And they say history repeats itself. So if you don't know, you got to know history. As a man, you got to understand history. It's a history book as well as a prophetic book to tell you about what's going to happen. So this is prophecy rereading. It didn't happen yet. Show me another book right now of all the books you ever heard of and read that's going to tell you what's going to happen to you in the future or your people. The Quran don't even got that. You can't go to the Muslims and understand what's going to happen to your enemy. The Israelites, the book of the Israelites, where is that? God dealt with us specifically. He told us how it's going to start and how it's going to end. Go ahead.
He said, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue it.
It ain't hate blood when they did this for our people. It's a hard time. Some of this is hard to see. When they did this to our people, they brought smallpox blankets over there and traded them with the Native Americans just to poison them to get rid of them off the land. Right? And they was killing their babies too, burning their houses up. When they was doing that, they didn't hate blood then. So don't hate blood when it comes to the time, your time. Go ahead. Okay. Y'all got any questions? Oh, y'all better be out. Y'all, what's up? I hear you. Because it ain't biblical. Yeah. Say again? Hell no.
I said the Christian Bible.
Yeah, tell you about Christmas about it's Isaiah 10, right? Yeah, it's called Saturnalia. December 25th is the day it's called winter solstice. That's when all the witches would celebrate because that was like that was the day in which like the least amount of sunlight out of all the year was in December 25th, right? So it was celebrated by witches and because they celebrate certain days too, right? And so what they would do is in Rome is a day called Saturnalia. It comes from where Saturn. Saturn was a god, it's a Greek god. So they named it after a planet, it's a Greek god, just like Mars is a Greek god of war. So during the time of Saturn, they would go out in the streets in Rome and have a big orgy party. Right? And everybody, men, boys, whatever, children, grown up, adults, they all had sex with each other in the street. That was on December 25th. They can't change that around. So what happened is why Christianity looked the way it do. It got Christmas trees, it got Santa Claus, the elves, things that you know it ain't in the Bible. What they got to do with anything? Because they took paganism, which is like false idolatry. They took religion, which is what we read in the Bible, practices of our people, customs and heritage of our people, and they try to blend them to make everybody happy. And that's where Easter comes from. Easter, they tell you that's a religious day too, right? Easter come from a goddess named Ishtar. That's where the word comes from. Ishtar. Ishtar was the goddess of fertility. That's why they use the Easter bunny. Easter bunny symbolizes fertility. Because rabbits have a lot of sex and have a lot of children. So they took the pagan people who didn't believe in the Bible. Then they took the Christian of that time during the 1500s, 14 dark ages when we was ruling Europe. They just blended it together to try to make everybody happy. But according to the Bible, we gonna read it. Ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. Christmas. Think about it. Santa Claus and all that. Come on, you can't identify Santa Claus with the Bible. White man coming down your chimney. These are all lies. Once again, they say it's for the kids. How many times you gonna lie to the kids and expect them to be all happy about it? Y'all got a break. Y'all got to do. Y'all got to do. Y'all got to do. All right. Hey, now, what's your names, man? All right, DJ. Mike. You know where that comes from, right? That's a Hebrew name. All right. So we'll every week. So.
Yeah. Prophesy, man. First and foremost, we give our praise and glory to Yahweh, Double honors to the apostle and elders, great millstone, who teach very well. When not that to the hopeful lake, man.
Hey, to the spirit, we opened up like that because Jay came up and had some questions, and that's what we here for. Scripture tell you, matter of fact, Matthew 10 and 5, right? Scripture tell you what we gotta do. Ezekiel 3rd chapter 2. 15, right?
Yeah, Matthew 10 and 5. Matthew 10 and 5, these 12 Yahweh shall send forth and command them, saying, go not into the way of the
So
Gentiles.
it's a commandment, meaning it's an order, it's a directive. Come into this fold, you become, let's put it like this, a soldier for the Lord. All right, you become a worker. And a worker got to take order. I don't care what you think for. You might be a boss, but even Rick Ross got to take orders. Right? You ain't the boss of all bosses. Most time, Yahweh Shah commanded us to go and do this work, which is mainly to edify his people, to feed his sheep. We're walking around here lost right now. That's the predicament in which we find ourselves in now. Want to say something?
Yeah, go not into the way of the Gentiles.
So the Lord said, read up a little bit.
Yeah, on the top. These 12 Yahweh shall send forth and commanded them, saying.
So he ain't just had, once again, he ain't just had his men just sitting around. That's the custom of a lot of camps, man. You got all these hundreds, you just keeping up men. For what? Man, send them men out to do what the Lord had 12 and he was sending them out. When he had 50, he was sending them out 2 by 2. He split up everybody. We're going to hit there. We're going to hit over there. All this stagnant. That's why it's like living waters. The waters flow, man. You over here stagnated. That's your fault. Go ahead.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
But go not into the way of the Gentiles. He sent them out everywhere, but not into the way of the Gentiles. That's a scripture that vocab don't want to deal with. A lot of Christians don't want to deal with. Because now they think, and an ignorant person gonna say, the Bible contradicts itself. Go not into the way of the Gentiles. That's heathen nation. You got the 12 tribes here, all right? You got the 12 the nations here. There's only one nation. Hold on. There's only one nation that the Lord is dealing with above all the rest. The rest of them is heathen. So he said, don't go into their way. Go into the way of the tribe. Read on.
It says, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Yeah, and to the Samaritans, who was another people. Now, our people was also in Samaria, right? But the Lord didn't want us teaching those Samaritans the ways of which Israelites will turn back to the Father through the Son. What good is it to teach a heathen nation how to return back to a God that he don't worship, and he ain't of the lineage of the people who can return back to him ahead of in the first place? Convert means to turn back. That means if you ain't was turning in the right direction in the first place, how you gonna ever turn back? Show me in the scripture in the Old Testament where the heathens was praising the Lord of the Bible. They was serving Baal, man. They was too busy with Molech, sacrificing kids. They was too busy in Athens. Them heathens was too busy serving Athena. In Ephesus, they was too busy serving this goddess and that one. You're not gonna find it. The only people that was serving the God of the Bible was Israelites. They the only ones that could convert based on the word. It's the context, right?
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Then he's more specific. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So that's what we doing. That's what we doing. And where's the house of Israel? Scattered right now. The scripture tell you. Deuteronomy tell you he's gonna scatter. That's one of our curses. So we all over. That's why you got GMS Italia. GMS the brothers in Australia, brothers in Nigeria. Right. Living in UK. Somebody in Virgin Islands. They also Peru. They also got brothers in I think they saying in Yahweh Shai in Philippines. So that's because we scattered, man. Yep, your time. The Lord said he was live today or yesterday. The Lord said, that He's going to receive and redeem us. Matter of fact, Isaiah. Yep. Go ahead. There's more of that.
Yes,
Verse
7, it says, and as ye go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Kingdom of heaven. That's a beautiful time. See, the kingdom of heaven is at hand because the Lord is near. Because the end time is near. That means the time of calamity is near. That means judgment is near. Right? That means it's not high time to wake up out of sleep. Because you don't want to get, right? You're going to take your persecution, which is considered a light affliction right now. Right? The scriptures say that there's a time of light. This is not to be compared to the glory. It's going to be revealed. If y'all know what I'm talking about, yeah, no, to bring our precept out. Let this brother bring this out.
This Isaiah 11, and I'm going to start at verse 19. It says, in that day, there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people.
We just went through all of the different words which lead back to everything revolving around your father's line and everything passed down through a line. That's like saying that the root don't got anything to do with the plant. Right? The root has everything to do with the plant. From the root, you're going to get the fruit. They all are connected. And so the scriptures tell you about the root of Jesse. The root dealing with heritage, dealing with seed line, dealing with from the beginning. Nationality, once again, it's all through the Bible. Your nation. It's not just about what you look like. That's called phenotype. That's one inkling of the whole piece, man. It also involves how your mind is, more importantly, how your mind is, man. The Most High created our mind a specific way, adverse to how he created their mind. That's why it was written, Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Esau was a cunning hunter, man of the field. Two different mentalities. You think Jacob wanted to be in the field? And Esau could stand being in the home with his mother? Two different mentalities. That's why even in the growing up, I went to a school that had all type of nationalities in it. But at the end of the day, when it came down to lunchtime, let's say, Jake was over here, Esau was over there. We done Moab over here, Elam over there. Before we even knew about that, we was dividing ourselves, man.
That's the thing. Like I said, that's the word. Like, we gonna go for a first, man. The guy that look like you,
How about in the prison system?
Yeah.
How dare you go up in jail and say, "Hey, man, come on, man, it's America. We all blended up and mixed up together." They're gonna say, "Get your ass out of here, nigga." Go ahead.
It says, read this again, Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day, there shall be a root of Jesse.
A root of Jesse. Who came out of Jesse? Who came out of Jesse? Because they say immaculate conception. Jesse, right? That proves that Yahweh Shah had a lineage. He had a bloodline. He came from a seed he came from. And they tell you that the angel just touched Mary's belly and she go half, man. How did he have to come from the root of Jesse? Read on.
God, it says, which shall stand for an ensign.
We shall stand for an ensign
of the people.
Of the people.
To it shall the Gentiles see, and his breast shall be glorious.
And who's the Gentiles in this situation? Because you got God and the car. These are Hebrew words, right? One means natural Gentile. The other means Israelite foreigner. Somebody who is from your people, but they distance themselves. If you ever got that black sheep in your family, that cousin, that uncle that just don't be around the family, but he's still invited, he's still allowed to show up. And when he do show up, he still get treated like family because he's still part of it. But that's what the Israelite foreigners was like. So, but there's some people in the family that don't want to treat him like family no more. They're like, nah, he ain't never around.
He ain't come to
Yeah.
Christmas fast.
Yeah, he ain't even come to crib. He ain't send me shit. Hell with that dude. Don't eat none of my food. They mad as hell. But the rest of the family like, man, family. Yeah. Well, that's what the Jews in Jerusalem was like. Man, look, man, anybody outside Jerusalem, they ain't with it. They ain't how it worked though. Right?
Because I mean, going to that word Helen, basically means to take on the culture to the priest. And that's what happened during that time period back then.
Right.
You know, probably your grandfather, he probably went to Jerusalem, and then it came down to his son, and he did it time, and the son after that, he don't even remember. You feel me? Because again, for lack of better words, when you go into the Helen, basically following after the heat, it basically discontinued us from our heritage. Instead of you worshiping Yahweh Shah and doing sacrifice to the Lord, you sacrifice to a Greek god, and you believe Zeus now, man.
That's it.
But
It's like that. Go ahead.
Because
Yeah, just like that. Hellenistic period. In order to understand the Bible, you gotta deal with the Hellenistic period. You can't just ignore what you that history. I don't really deal with that part. The word Hellen is a Greek word, means Greek word Helen. So it ain't, I got an aunt named Helen. You know, she probably don't know what her name means. It means Greek. And the Hellenistic period was when Alexander the Great, 333 BC, came and conquered over the whole known land. The farthest anybody at that time has ever conquered. He went all the way to Afghanistan. From Greece all the way to Afghanistan on horseback, conquering every which way through India. So they was all speaking Greek. Guess what? You had some Indian Elamites that was speaking Greek. We had some Hamites speaking Greek. Alexandria, Egypt. That was a Greek place. Why was the name Alexander? Who's Alex? That's a Greek name.
they had Jake in the military too. You know what I'm saying? So you know Jake was going around spreading these seeds throughout that area. You know,
of course.
I'm gonna say I like, even though I went over there, I like Saudi Arabia better. You know what I'm saying?
You put any women of another nation in front of Jake, what we gonna do with it? Especially you a warrior.
Yeah.
Now we ain't just talking about any Jake. We're talking about warrior-minded Jakes, man. All throughout the scriptures, you're gonna see that men was taking spoils. I just read out of Genesis today. I got into that topic. In Genesis 14, they're dealing with Abram. His name was Abram at that time before it was Abraham. And Abram, when he went to go save Lot, he went over there, and guess what? When he saved Lot, he also took women captives with him. War is a war. That's one of the reasons you go to war. It ain't just I'm fighting for a country, man. They try to make war seem like some patriotic, man. You went over there for the sport.
Yeah, even like World War II, that was kind of going to war when that time they get tanks and shit like that. But they,
man. Right now, that's why the rates is so low where people ain't even trying to join.
Yeah.
You
get a German pistol, you know what I'm saying? That was a big thing. I know I seen like those ancestral shows and shit like that. When they restored what you call it, he was like, yeah, my granddad, he was World War II, and he got this German. The only thing he could take was a German. He could take the tank to the gold of the sea that he just ran that thing. Because again, for lack of better words, they was giving certain things to the elite, man. These different tanks that cost a lot of money, these different goals that cost a lot of money, and even today about the spoils for lack of better words, over there in Iran, they have gold and guns, but they'll set a booby trap. But for lack of better words, just going back to the ancient world. Now, back in the day, it was a key thing to keep everything, kill all the men, boys, and get the virgins, bro. And again, shave the head, cut off her nails, things like that. Yeah. 3 months later, people go inside her, and she gonna love that society, man. She gonna love, you fooling over her, man. Yeah, let her go. And then you tell her, hey, stop all that crying, man. But again, just going back into the point, when back during the Hellenistic period, Jake was over there spraying his seed, man. He wasn't just chilling. Jake was over there, he was getting down, Even World War II, Jake went over there to France. They was getting down, man, and left their seed over there,
Hey, that's exactly what happened. So when these Russian soldiers right now in Ukraine, Man, they popping women. They trying to make the reports and there's been war crimes. If a war crime is going into another country and popping their women after you capture their land, then the Bible filled with it. And I guess Moses, uh, Abraham, King David, King Solomon, they was all war criminals. They all took spoils with them. That's just how it goes. Go ahead,
Going back to Isaiah 11:11, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time.
Second time. So the Lord gonna see future prophets. That what we also taught them young Jakes. And I say this, man, it was pretty astute, man. I mean, for what I expected, I expected them to walk off a whole hour before they stayed long. It was like an hour and 15 minutes almost. But this what's the saying? There's a crying in the streets, crying for wine in the streets, man. Jake tired of this U.S. miseducation system, man. It's tiring, man. Like the man, he said it himself. He said, stress on my brain. What part of learning this truth should be stressful unless you cram it all day? That's why we say you it's a balance to this. The Bible say the race is not to the swift. You patiently, but you pick up. You don't leave off. You don't walk away from it. The scripture said, "Be hot or cold." But if you lukewarm, the Lord gonna spew you out. So you're supposed to constantly get more edification, understanding, and build on what you already had. But if you 24 hours and in the school ain't teaching you nothing, man. It's not enriching your life in any way. When they teach slavery, my slavery class growing up, man, that was about 5 days long. At the most, at best. 5 days at best. There you got quickly. Go ahead. Yeah, during Black History, they teach you one day after Black History. Yo, I kid you not. One day McDonald's had a Black History Month thing. You know who they had up there for Black History Month? Young Buck.
Oh, rapper.
Young Buck, rapper. So that's a slap in the face, man. Show me one Black History month where they talk about Judah Mack. Then I'm gonna be interested. Well, yeah, now leaving that kind of. Go ahead.
Going back to why we out here, Romans 10 and 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? Yeah, how they going to call on the name that they ain't heard of? If we ain't out here, the scripture going, hey, don't give it to you wrong. It's continuing on, it says, and how shall they hear without a preacher? And this is the main reason why we brought the scripture out. It says, go unto what? Israel. Okay, because that's what we out together for the supper, man. Being to the marriage. All right? And how are they going to hear that if we wasn't out here, all right, giving them the testimony of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, the gospel, the good news, all right, that is able to save your soul. Okay? And just like the brother, the elder said, man, it seems like them brothers was tuned in, man. All right? Because people are tired of this word.
Going back to Isaiah 11, continuing on, it says, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria.
Remnant, remainder, right? That which is left over, a small portion. So the Lord, even out of all Israel, he just like, man, I'm gonna deal with a small fraction of you. And you can see the evidence of the Lord work throughout the scriptures when you go into it. Because what happened with Gideon in Judges 7 chapter? When you go into it, he told Gideon had an army of 22,000. And he said, that's too many, shorten that up. Next thing, Gideon chopped it up, sent certain men home, left them 10,000. Lord said, too much, too many. If y'all let y'all fight, y'all gonna say y'all won because y'all was more number. Chop it up again. He ended up with 300 men. Lord said, there you go. I'll make it work. Cared about having them everybody down. You only needed a few. Right? And so he said, I'm going to bring back the kingdom of heaven with just a few with the lesser of the majority. Majority, I'm gonna do away with it, but I'm gonna take the few and I'm gonna bring back the kingdom with just a few. I'm gonna make it more women so that the few men can have multiple wives. There it is. That's how the Lord gonna do it, right?
God, it says to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt.
Syria is like that area which is Syria today. Right? All over there in Babylon and Iraq area, where our people still scattered at. So how much more if somebody walk up to us and look like an Assyrian, we still gotta deal with them. They're like, look, I believe in this word, I believe in the truth. Some camps, they're gonna say, man, get the hell out of here. I promise you. We done seen that before. Influence the bot. He had an altercation. It went GMS viral. And it was a Jake that looked like he was from Japan. He had chinky eyes and everything. He was like, "Look, what if I believe?" He was talking like this. What if I believe? Can I be delivered or not? He was like, "Hell no!" So you don't even understand how the scriptures. So you telling me dudes looking like Shaft is going to come out the middle of the land of Assyria? Read on.
I got some. Yeah. 1 Samuel 16:7. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashah said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart.
Look at that.
Just going back while the brother was talking about it. The brother was talking about it. The Chinese guy doing like that, things like that. You can tell in his spirit that he's the sons of the Most High. Again, in Romans the 8th chapter, man. That's gonna start being manifested more and more, especially in these end times, man. You know, because it says, wait, their spirit, their our spirit, that we are the children of the Most High. It's not no fleshly things. It's not no chinky eye or dark skin tone things. No, it's all in the spirit. You know, and that's what really gathering us together, the spirit, man. You know?
Play with itself.
God, that's out. That's it.
Go ahead.
1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit, whether they are of the Most High. Because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Look that word up, try. Scripture say you're supposed to try the spirit, man. I mean, you gotta be exercised in the spirit. You yourself ain't exercising the spirit. You're just gonna be misled. That means you gotta be walking in the spirit in the first place. You don't know what it means to walk in the spirit. You're doing yourself a disservice. Led by the spirit. What's that mean? I mean, we just walk out and like a compass. Well, it's similar to that, you know? It's similar to a magnetic, right? But it's the spirit moving you. It's a spirit inside of you. You understand? So that spirit supposed to be driven everywhere. The words that come out of your mouth supposed to be filtered through what's acceptable to the Lord. There's a scripture that said, let my heart meditate things that are acceptable unto you. Go ahead.
Psalms G1381. This word try, it says to test, examine.
Examination. When you are in court, they got evidence. That's good. And they make an examination out of that evidence, right? For the trial, it's called cross-examination. You on a trial, right? So the person who's the defendant, his lawyer will go up and ask questions, and then the accused or the person doing the accused, the prosecutor, go up and ask questions. Cross-examination. And you try to trip them up or get them to see, like, show the jury that they're faulty, or show the jury that, look, we can believe this person. So where's the cross-examination? Everybody that run into you and bump into you on a weekly, daily basis, you just let them have their way. Where's the examination? How you know? Do you even have discernment to know if this person is inclined to wicked and evil thoughts, or are they inclined to being more loyal, and respect, and decent? You got to have some type of discernment to do something like that. And these things are exercised over time. Scripture talk about being seasoned. These things exercise over time. You only get better with it. But the men that fall away, man, it's like you cast all of that off. Because I guarantee you, somebody that did 20 years and then in the year 2000 came, they just dropped out and left it all. They don't got no discernment no more. Go ahead.
Back it said, prove now to see whether a thing
It said prove. Scripture say prove all things. Guess what? A man got to be proved. Right? I'd be a fool to let you walk up to me and we just best friends after 2 hours of conversation. Now I could get down, I'm gonna have a conversation because that's part of the examination trial. I ain't gotta be all mean to you. Like you go into some neighborhoods, niggas is just mean from the jump. Fuck that. No, we don't know that nigga. We don't fuck in New York, they do that all the time. We don't fuck with you. Yo, do I know you? That's how they talk to you out there. You just say, hey, you got what time it is? Nigga, to the buy a watch. Who the fuck is this nigga? That's how they talk to you. Like, God damn. So, but that's because they ain't got no ability to try the spirit. They don't even know who their spirit is. They just the lost trials to Israel. That's why the scripture tell you, well, walk with wisdom towards them that are without. You're supposed to be way exercising in the spirit. How you dealing with people out here? Man, this dude hit me. Why he hit you? Because yeah, he's you bet. Hey. I said, he ain't got the truth. God ain't dealing with him. So he smacked the shit out. Well, damn, brother. What you thought he was going to do? They the lost tribes, man. The scripture tell you they're like wild bulls in a net. Supposed to be mindful out here, man. Walk with wisdom towards them that are without. You the one with the wisdom. Should have never been there at that time of night. What time was it? 3:30 in the morning.
About discerning how you speak to folks, you don't know who you're speaking to. I know coming to America, this guy he was a prince, but he was working at McDonald's. Niggas was sitting on him, making fun of him, but he was the king. Right. And at the end of the move, they realized who he was. They were like, "Oh, well, come on," they switched it up. And it's the same thing here now. You're supposed to just treat everybody like shit. You feel me? And again, you don't want to treat everybody like it's God. Right. But again, it's the spirit of discernment, like the elder was talking about, man. What they try the words of his mouth. Because you can have a conversation with a nigga in the first 5 minutes. You know what type of dude he is.
Yeah, that comes with, once again, that comes with time, man. At first, you're just gonna be like, "Oh, cool." No, but read that one up again.
Going back, it says, scrutinize.
Scrutinize. When the last time you scrutinized a man? Well, then you just give him, you just gave your phone number. We cool, we buddies. That's my homeboy. Huh? Yeah, he just like that. Yeah, he cool.
That's Jake's favorite thing. Oh, they just like that. Let it slide.
Yeah.
No, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of that going on. That's why Jake getting shot at and killed and murdered. You made friends with the wrong nigga. You brought him in your crib and everything. Guess what? That PS5 gone. You don't know where it's at. What the hell? I know anything. Like, yeah, I thought I pretty. Yo, hey, I done brought a nigga in my house. A nigga stole my. I was about 10. Me and my brother 10. I was around 10 years old. A nigga right up the block came in the house and stole money right off my brother's desk. Only reason I knew it was my our money when I seen it later because it had a little mark on it. The nigga used the money later on and asked for some more money so we can get to the roller skating rink. Man, listen, Jake is cold. Jake will backstab you 10 times before you even know it. How you think adultery even happens, man? You done brought the nigga around your wife.
Fine since day one.
Huh?
Fine since day one.
And so has she. Take two. Yeah. So you can't be all, that's that simple mindedness that you learn here in America. They don't want you to be sharp, man. But eventually you got to put that off and replace that with wisdom, man.
Being on point.
Being on point, yeah.
The story you told, I got a precept to back it up. Because again, these Jakes out here, they on point in wicked. You know, they don't point on the sly shit like stealing shit and committing adultery and being sneaky. But you have to be on point in righteousness, man, to stop this shit.
Right.
This Sirach 11, and I'm gonna start at verse 29. It says, "Bring not every man into thine house." Because when you go, you can tell when we bring a nigga down, he started looking around and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He looking up. He said, "Hey, where you get those shoes from? Where you get that from?" You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, you come back 2 weeks later, yeah, man, I got them shoes. Yours, this. You feel me? So again, it says, "Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many training." And for lack of better words, he wicked in many ways, for lack of better words. Man. You know?
And here you go, bringing everybody who a Bama fan can come in your house. Come on, everybody. Next thing you know, half your shit is gone. There's a reason for that. Right. And your woman come. All right? There's some cold people out here. The Bible says you a sheep amongst wolves. You better act like it, man. I'm too smart for that. All right. Plotting on you from the moment they saw you. And that was just a little $5. Imagine if I had some real money up in there. You ever heard this story? You got to watch a movie called Paid in Full. Right? Where they was both, for real. He didn't even know his boy from all these years ended up killing him for just a connect, for a drug connect. The drug game, right? They tell you about the street. They ain't got no friends out here. The street, where the streets don't love nobody. Right? There's a song called "Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City." Can't look for love out here, man. Looking for love in the wrong places. Women do you dirty. Don't let me start talking about Eve, man. Yeah, man, I love her. She different. All right. Friday night, you don't know where she at. I'm just going out with the friend. You got all type of male friends. Hey, man, it happens every day, all day. Go ahead.
Yeah, God. Yeah, so Sirach for Ecclesiastes, chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
You ain't got to prove it. If you ain't got no way to prove nobody, you don't belong. You don't need to have no friends. You ain't ready for friendship. Man, you better just humble down. So the Lord give you some intellect to be able to know the difference between a real friend and a fake one. You better go sit your ass down somewhere. Right? You go play with your blocks, man. Right? You got the mind frame of a toddler. That's what children do. That's my friend. All right. Well, hey, we in the times, man. Once you pass 12 years old, you ain't got that opportunity no more. All right, niggas is literally out here telling you they savages, man. I'm on demon time, and that's your main nigga. Gotta figure it out, man. And it's a nigga that's gonna get clipped tonight, thinking that his boy was his friend. You know how many times they got videos right now where the niggas just chilling together. The dude turned his head that way and boom, boom, went through his pockets, dead. Yeah, $15. I'll take you out $15 with the possibility of a $100 bill to take you out. Yeah.
It's on Matthew 10 and verse 36. It says, "And a man foe shall be they of his own household."
Yep, they of your own household, meaning those closest to you. Those closest to you will turn you in. Scripture tell you later on, right? Where Yahusha said, look, you know, your family, those of your family will turn you in to be killed. Where he at? He did. You know how many times niggas that do some dirt, and then they call their mama, they were on the run. Probably good to get away. Call their mama, mama said, turn yourself.
Go in.
Go in, go in. Just do the right thing.
Crying and being hysterical. And the police right beside it. Just,
Yeah.
Okay, baby, well, where you at?
Where you at?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just tell me where you at.
But like about a word, you get your, but like, because I can say, around your family, you let your guard down, you know this nigga, he know you. Since you was born, and you let your guard down, then it turn around, he turned back and show you that he's still a nigga, man. Because at the end of the day, like the elder was talking about, man, but like about the words, it's going to be a lot of betrayal, especially in these plans.
Love of many shall wax cold.
Wax cold. out here for 6 months now, but y'all believe in the same thing, but you trust them more than you trust your mama. You know?
Yeah, man. The game is cold. Go ahead, brother.
St. John 15:13. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend. That's your house shot. Continuing on. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you.
So that's a trying process right there. You can't just walk up, Jesus to my homeboy. That was a shirt for all these years. And people is bowing in. They in the churches right now. We love you. Listen, he don't know you. That's why he said, somebody in the end time, they going to say, Lord, Lord. Say, basically, go from me. I don't know you. When I was hungry, you feed me. Right? So the Lord, this is where you learn true friendship, true loyalty. We loyal to you. How about Shemi Al-Shah? This is where you start at. If you can't be loyal to your power, you can't be loyal to nobody. Go ahead, out.
Yeah, going back, Sirach, with Ecclesiastes 6, verse 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Not abide. Go ahead, break it down.
Yeah, so, I mean, just like I was saying, like, you got to prove a friend first. That's what the scripture say. So that's going to be known in a time of trouble. You put your Lord's point. He's going to speak there with you and abide by you. That's your Lord's point. He's going to kick you back up. That's going to be known each time that you come into, man. So that's how you know a friend, man. When he's with there with you, that's your Lord's point.
It's different between being cordial, which we all cordial. You gotta be cordial at work. You gotta connect. You gotta play the role. You gotta do the part. But don't let that trick you into thinking that. Don't forget why you're doing it in the first place, man.
Let your guard down.
Don't let your guard down. You came there for a check. At the end of the day, I really like my job, and that's what happens to niggas all around the world. I don't really like my job. Nah, they cool with me. The nigga Lil Wayne got caught out there. Man, I'll never be racist. Because when I was about 65 years old, I shot myself. And a white guy came in to save my life. So that now every single Edomite gets a pass. Because this one dude who was on the job, no, he just did his job.
It is job. It's job.
That's his job. He don't know you from a hole in the wall. He got paid to do that, man. What's wrong with you niggas? Right? Slavery just, I'm going to overlook all of that. 400 years, I'm going to look over it because there's one white dude named Bob. He the one that say, he the reason I'm alive. A nigga in a reprobate mind frame is quick to give credit to his slave master, man. A nigga that is still in a slave mentality is going to find any reason he can. Because one day I was walking out and I tripped, and there was a white guy that picked me up, and I could have got hit. So from that day forward, a lot of y'all niggas, man.
Bob game. Everybody Bob game.
The Bob.
I'm a Bob.
Right.
I got some quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
It's Rock 12 verse 8. It says, a friend cannot be known in prosperity.
Yeah, you ever been in adversity? You ain't never been in a situation where everybody else said no. You ain't never been in a situation where everybody else said no. You ain't never been in adversity. Man. You know? Where everybody said no. You got to go through 100 no's just to get a yes. Then you're going to see who friends is, man. Yeah, you got to try that situation first, man. Go ahead.
It says, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity.
That's why Jake don't, that's the real reason. That's one of the main reasons Jake walked by and they don't want nothing to do with it. Because I'm telling you, we going to call Esau out, man. And that's their best friend. They can't imagine a life without their best friend. I'm telling you. And what's really sad is you can flip this around and do it the other way. And that's how niggas get licks. That's how they got, that's how they be getting these rappers and get these, befriending somebody who who rich. Befriending you know, I can get befriending a simpleton, man. Yeah. Yeah, Meek best friend. Meek got all the billionaire friends. All he gotta do is hop like a bunny. Right. So there it is. Because all they gotta do is put a check into his enemy hand. And yeah, it's over for him. He ain't even the hottest thing out in Philly no more. Once this hot nigga coming up, get a check from so you gotta bunny hop your way into prosperity, man. You don't want to bunny hop your way into a friendship. And that's what Jake done did all of these days, man.
The story of Fat Joe. You see, he had 50 niggas. And he was like, he took all, he got the hotel and shit like that. He thought that night, he was like, man, this ain't quick. He woke up that morning, he was like, yeah, I ain't got it. So everybody in that motherfucker, I ain't got it. He said only 2 or 3 motherfuckers was left. And they just so picturized the scripture. It says at the time of adversity, your enemy can't be in because they're gonna be your family gonna leave, everybody else gonna leave you alone. It's only gonna be a few people that's gonna stay with you through thick and thin.
And you think the Lord don't know that? The Lord know it better than we do. We just getting the inkling of how it works, man. Why do y'all boss me a shot? We got this wisdom now, but we ain't gotta get tricked into all these fake friendships. Because the Lord know it too. That's why he said, look, I'm gonna deal with the remnant. The rest of the world is like, wait a minute. Everybody can't get. No, man, it shouldn't work like that. Nah, the Lord, he ain't playing with y'all this time around. Look, man, I ain't coming back for that BS. And they gonna say it, Lord, how was y'all? That's how niggas gonna be. Because remember, Jacob means supplant. A supplanter is somebody that know how to divide, scheme on your ass. And Israelites is always gonna be scheming. There's always a scheme. Whether they implement it or not, they scheme. Right.
It says Sirach 12:9. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart.
Read it again.
John, it's on Sirach 12:9. In prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. Yep. But in his adversity, even a friend will depart.
But in his adversity, a friend will depart. So you understand how fake friendship works, man. Right? Go back to Isaiah.
Going back to the book of Isaiah 11, verse 11 again. Isaiah 11:11. It shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam.
So you got Jake's in Egypt. Don't be surprised to see a DMS Egypt, man. Pathros, you gotta Google all these places to know where they at. Right? There's some islands. Go ahead.
It says, and from Shinar, and from Hapam, and from the islands of the sea.
The Lord know what he's doing. How he scattered his men, but he gonna receive them all. Back to him. Go ahead.
It says, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
Assemble and to put together the outcasts of Israel. Go ahead.
It says, and gather together the dispersed from Judah and from the four corners of the earth.
The first thing that's going to happen is they're going to receive this wisdom. They're going to receive this knowledge. They're going to receive this understanding. Just like how them jakes was up here standing, receiving it, man. It wasn't bucking up. You got people twice their age that don't want to hear this, man. 3, 4 times their age. They ain't got the time. But here it is, jakes, man. They fresh out. That's why the Lord said what he said. He said, while you be young, how that go? Yeah. My God, that's a box out here. Well, because there's a youthfulness that the Lord loves. He said, except you be as these little children. He's referring to the youthfulness, man, willing to learn. willingness to learn, be attentive, right? And you gotta have the audacity to cast off everything that was a lie in your life, man. Because guess what? When you come down to it, a lot of them people that loved you and them family members, whether you like it or not, they was lying to you. But another category you gotta put some of your loved one in is liars. They done told you about Christmas 100 times. And you can say all you want. Well, that's for the kids. That's what you're supposed to do to kids. Lie to them or where? Because according to the Bible, it said raise up a child when he was young, the way he should go. When he was older, he will not depart. What the hell you doing lying to a kid? Fat white man coming down the closet, chimney or something. What business you got lying to a child, man? That's just the way it goes. No, it ain't. That's the way it goes down in Babylon. That's why this place is full of confusion. Right?
It's the book of Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth.
Not when you old, man. Because when you old, you don't got time for that no more. Your mind is already set, and the way you think is already set, and you really can't, as the Lord said, put new wine in old bottles, lest they burst. Somebody join it, get low. Right? You can't put new wine into old bottles. Read that again.
God, it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth.
In the days of thy youth, you're supposed to remember the Creator. What's your youth? When you're young. That's why them young men, they was like 15, man. That's really when you're supposed to, that's really at that age and early is when David was younger than that, slaying Goliath, man. Daniel was younger than that when he became a prophet. Jeremiah was young when he started his journey with the Lord. He even spoke about how young he was. He's talking about you still a child. The Lord was 12 years old preaching in the synagogue. At what point do you think, at what age do you need to be to understand who you are? Go ahead.
God, it says, while the evil days come not.
Yeah, and the reason why is it's before the evil days come. Evil means bad time. What's coming for America is bad time. Why? Because look at the state of our people. You can't just look at us and be like, well, they just gonna do what they do. You can only say that too much. I mean, that might be enough for you, but to the Heavenly Father who created us, this is an abomination. He's looking down like, I'm about to wipe these people off. At one point, he got so angry with the Israelites during the time of Moses. He said, look, Moses, how about I just destroy every Israelite here and then bring them back through you? How about we work that deal out? If it wasn't for Moses siding with us, saying, Lord, look, you could do that, but the rest of the nations are going to say you betrayed your people. So the Lord said, all right, yep. And he kept this, man. So guess what? It doesn't matter. The Lord, read that again.
God, it says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, though the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Why do you say no pleasure in your years after they draw nigh? Because as older you get, the less pleasure you have, for real. Right? I don't care what they say. When your back hurting, you ain't enjoying that stroke. You ain't enjoying it like that when your back blow out. Now you got to lay down.
Yeah, if I make a lot of people, they be stuck in their ways too. You 45 years of baptism, and it's a lot of people, they can't risk to throw everything they thought they knew away and be born again. Man. They're thinking it's an age thing, thinking it's a separate, I'm old thing. No, it's a spiritual thing, man. Because again, all those we came into this truth, we had got reborn again. No matter what the age, you could be 65 years old, but now you reborn in the spirit. You 1 year old again, And that's the mentality that they don't want to have at that old age. They in that spirit. You can't tell even going that part of things. Yeah.
In the world, like can't come to teach an old dog new tricks. All right, and they think it's a saying in the world. Actually, get that No, that's the thing. I got to preach. Okay, now, this is Isaiah 46, verse 8. It says, remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember what we did, to get us in this situation that we're in. We sinned greatly against the Lord. We broke the covenant that was given to us. But that word man just ain't no light thing, man. All right? Even the Lord was considered what an austere man. We have to look into the author and the finisher.
Which means denounce the ways of this world. Because the Lord said himself, I'm not the king of this world. I'm not the prince of this world. That's why he left the world in the first place. They was telling him, look, are you going to establish the kingdom back to Israel? Lord? He said, look, I gotta do what my father sent me to do. I gotta go on that cross. And then the comforter will come to comfort you, which is the word. And then when I return, that's when you're gonna have the kingdom of heaven restored. But up until that point, you just gotta deny the world and deny the flesh. He said, I pray that, not to take you out of this world, but to keep you from the evil of this world. So yes, the Bible do say hate the world. It does say that. If you hate, it does say talk about hating your life. Right? And unless you understand that, you're not ready for salvation, or you're ready for deliverance, or understanding, or wisdom. And then you're just gonna try to enjoy your life with the rest of these people the best you can, which is not much to enjoy in the first place. You think the Most High didn't know what he was doing? It's like trying to enjoy your phone at 2% left. You can't really enjoy it, man. You're just looking for a charge. Trying to watch a whole movie. Movie that started on your phone, 2%. You were plagued in the mind, man. You got it on 1.5 speed.
I got something for you real quick. This is the book of Amos 5 and 10. It says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they avoid him that speaketh uprightly. And they're just going back. Jake haters telling you to get out of that worldly mindset. Because again, you're trying to enjoy something that's temporal, man. You're trying to enjoy something that's wicked that only feel good for the moment. Because adults, they only feel good for the moment, man. You're not trying to enjoy the thing that's going to be good everlasting, man. And Jake hate us telling you stop doing it. Stop taking that diaper off, man. Stop putting your hand up on the stove. And it's gonna get to a point when we ain't gonna tell you no more in judgment. It's gonna have to come down, man. Because that's what the Lord's finna get ready to do. He's finna get ready to bring judgment down upon this wicked ass place known as America, man. I want to get that problem. Yeah, Proverbs 1 and 22. It says, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? It says, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity, man? How long you niggas are going to enjoy the temporal things of this world, bro? Because I don't care how much money you got, or how much things you got, how many cars, clothes, money, and hoes you have. It don't mean shit, man. Because all these things are temporal, man. Why would you love something that would be, why would you love something that would be here one second and be gone the next? You just met a woman. She said, I'm not going to be with you with a month. You're not going to love her. Got it? It says, and the scorners delight in their scornings, and the fools hate knowledge. It says, and scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Because you scoff against us, you hate against us because we preaching the word, man. You hate against us because we telling you the righteous things of the Bible. You got it? Yeah, verse 23. It says, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. And then it says, turn you up at my reproof. Papa will start giving Hosea 6 and 1. Because it says, turn you at my reproof. We are coming into the point where we're returning unto the Lord. And a part of you returning unto your Yahweh is you returning unto a merciful power, man. Basically, so you can be preserved from these dangerous times. There's a lot of death, warning, and destruction that's going to come on upon the planet Earth, man. And if you don't have that covering of your Yahweh you're going to be left out. Got it?
Hosea 6 and 1. Come and let us return unto the Lord.
It says, come and let us return unto the Lord. Who is that Lord? Yahweh Shemel, not Jesus.
Yeah. Well, he has torn.
He have torn. How he have torn? We have to separate from our hair. The signs, this how we was torn, man. Because Because ultimately, even though Esau even did it unto us, it was the Spirit of the Lord that did this, man. You got it?
For he has torn and he will heal us.
Yeah, he had torn and then he will what? He will heal us, man. And we're coming into that healing right now. Read that Proverbs 1 like what? Yeah, going back to it. Proverbs 1 and 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I pour out my spirit unto you. And that's it, man. Turning you apart to the reproof. You returning to the Lord. That's a part of that healing. Yeah? I will make known my words unto you. And how is the Lord making his words known unto you through the scriptures, through the prophecy, man? You got it. It says, because I have called and you have refused. It says, because I have called and you have refused. How is the Lord called? Us on the highways and byways preaching his word. Us on the highways and byways telling you to repent, man. Telling you to drop everything in the water and turn your face back into your high mind. She never shot. Got it? I have stretched out my hand and no man regard. He says, I have stretched out my hand and no man regard. Yeah, right. Proverbs 1 and 24. Okay, yeah, 23. It says, turn you in my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. And again, how is the Lord pouring out his spirit unto you? Through the prophets, man. Through the prophecies, because the things we speak in is things that's actually coming to pass before the planet Earth, whether it be the famine, or whether it be the drought, or whether it be all hell breakers, World War III, man. Even the talks of that's the spirit of the Lord resting upon the planet Earth. Okay? I will make known my words unto you. He's making his known words unto you with the prophets, man. The men that's on the highways and byways preaching his word. Okay? Because I have called and you have refused. This is because I have called and you refuse. Somebody calling your phone and it ring twice and you hit the X button. That means what the hell, you called again and it's the same thing, man. That's a sign of disrespect, especially in the eyes of your how I was shot, man. And the Lord call you by what? You walking past the camp, or even you just hearing about it. The Lord is so-called black man, little things like that. It's the Lord calling you, man. But again, they ignore it. Yeah. Yep, God. It says, I have stretched out my hand and no man regards. So the Lord, he put himself out there for you, but you didn't regard it.
That's right, chapter 7, verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder.
That's it. It says they refused to hearken. I'm trying to come in with you like this, and you late. But lack of better words, it's a sign of disrespect, man. I'm trying to lead you into a path of life, but you're turning your back and going back into death, man. But again, it's going to get to a point we're just going to let you do you, man. Because we know what's going to be at the end of that path. The end of that path is going to be what? Death, man. That's it.
It says, and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear.
So you block your ears and turn your back and say la la la, so you can't hear. Isaiah 69. Start it down. Because again, it all goes back until you not hearkening unto the message, man. It all goes back until you not hearkening to your high by shot. Because we ain't shit. I ain't shit, man. When we come out here and preach this word, man, we going through the words of the Lord, man. It's not like we made these words up. It ain't like we went down and say, y'all, when I say this, no, man. We say, thus saith the Lord, You got it.
It's Isaiah chapter 6, verse 7. And he laid it up on my mouth and said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged.
That's basically talking about Isaiah, because when you read up, he said, I'm a man of unclean lips. But if Lord put that call on his mouth, say, now you can speak, you got it.
It says, also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Who shall I send, and who will go for us?
So who shall rise up against the evildoer? You got it.
Then said I, here I am.
It's in the prophets. Because every time the Lord had a message, the Lord trying to make something go on, he's going to send his prophets out there first. You got it.
Continuing on, it says, verse 9, and he said, Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not.
It says, go and tell these people, hear ye indeed, understand not. We're telling you about World War III. We're telling you about a famine. We're talking about arrows, and we all fixing it in the Bible. But you guys don't understand. You got it?
It says,
and again, Salaki, just add on that. Why do you have our shy for the Lord making us to understand, bro? Because again, this understanding is going to save our lives. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. Us knowing these scriptures is going to save our lives, and we're going to appreciate Yahweh Shah much, much more. Each day that go by, we appreciate the Lord much more.
Isaiah 33:6.
That's it.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy tongues.
That's it. It says wisdom and knowledge. They ain't talking about ordinary wisdom, ordinary knowledge. No, wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures, man. It's going to be the stability of thy times. Because in that day, bro, when it's a famine, or they kick in your motherfucking door, man, it ain't gonna be like you're gonna be scared and shaking. You're gonna say, "Oh, the Lord said it was gonna happen, man." Proverbs 20:23. You got it,
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy tongues, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
that's what we want. You feel the Lord, man. I want to say, I heard thy speech and was afraid. You know, for the lack of better words, Lord, I'm gonna kill these niggas. You know, Lord, can you save me, Mama? You know? Then they say, go out the back door, my son. But like about words, a lot of people are not trying to hit that back door. No, yeah. No, man. That is God. This is Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. Yeah, it says the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hide himself. We can see the famine coming. Even when we went to $7 the other day, man, it wasn't even that much water there, bro. It was like 20 water bottles left, bro. Real shit. Like 21 gallon waters that's left there. And the rest of that shit was like flavor water, propane, and other that bullshit, man. So again, we can see that shit coming.
So like it's the whole build up. Because the euro that put in the fitness will be obsolete after September 30th. So it's just a build up of faith that the Lord is sitting up on this place, man.
He's sitting on this place. Literally.
It's an article that said all vegetables, like there's some type of money mix up with the vegetable crops. So they're gonna start destroying the vegetables, all the crops for the next year or the next 6 months. A lot of it is gonna be destroyed. The money's all messed up. All they gotta do is make it more costly to produce the crops than it is to sell them. There you go. They out of business. Yep.
Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. It says the simple pass on and are punished. Because a lot of these niggas, they know about the famine. They get the articles on their phone, they question something like that. Because I know on iPhone, you got Apple News, certain things that just want to pop up. You know, so nigga, he get a pop-up of Fox 6 News, a famine, lack of food. He going to ignore it. He going to be simple and pass on, and he going to suffer that, man. He's going to suffer that famine. He's going to suffer that tribulation, man. Why? Because ultimately, he didn't hearken unto the doctrine, man. He didn't cleave unto this life route, which is going to save your life, man. Oh, you got it.
Ezekiel 14:13, son of man, when the land sinneth against me, like trespassing previously.
That's it says when the land sinned against thee, man. So that's how it's more than one motherfucker that's doing it. It's actually a group of people that's sinning against Yahweh Shemam. Who's that group of people? 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. You got it.
Then will I stretch out mine hand upon it, and will break the staff of the bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. Yeah, so and that's what the Lord is prepared to do, man. Hey, preparing slaughter for their children, man. All right? It's going to start with the lack of bread. It's going to start with the lack of water, okay? It's going to start with them taking the money off the street, claiming that the money is dirty, it's filthy. Okay, they need a safer, they need a cleaner way, man. We can see the build up because we're half the scriptures, man. All right, to bag us up, man. You know?
Hey, brother, prudent perceive the evil. Can't even trust Esau with their news no more. Because what Esau is doing is they laughing at this whole situation over in Ukraine and with Russia. Russia just grabbed up 300,000 men to join the army. And they went in this week we in, right? Current news is saying that, look, you think it's a game, but I will use these nuclear missiles on. And he just told America, stop sending arms to Ukraine. So this situation is getting a lot tighter. And you know what Esau is doing? They laughing at it. They think it's a joke. That's why he's speaking like that. Like, he's serious face.
He got the spirit of the Lord on him.
Yeah, see, you know, he was rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
He was kind of leaning. You can tell that.
And they laughing. They got all these little comical little quips about him. That's how you think it had.
Yeah.
Right. It's bull marching in here. 3,000 people gonna be dead, whatever. Nah, man. He's like, look, I really don't need an army no more. This technology that we got, 30 minutes, y'all gone. I don't got no more enemies after 30 minutes. Y'all laughing, huh?
Like you seen the simulation when he shot out the milk.
Oh, yeah, I know.
This place gonna be done, man. This place, America, Babylon the Great, as the scripture said, would be a desolation.
It's like it. My point was that you can't even deal with Esau. Not even serious about this, man. These American Edomites not serious about this. The UK Edomites not serious. You don't get that tone. It's only the adversary that's serious, man. You know. So how much further do we need? Our seriousness come from the scriptures. Our austerity right now, it comes from the scriptures. It's not coming from these people. They washed up, man. You couldn't get a serious bone out of them for nothing, man.
I mean, that's why TikTok push for this thing called brain dead activity. It's like you watch those 15 seconds, those 30 seconds of video. It's called brain dead activity. On this side, they ain't gonna take everything serious. Again, when something like when the queen died, something major happened. Instead of these people, parking like, oh, something going down. These people start making meetings, which shows you that's the feel of these Babylonians, man. Comfortability and just have fun.
Make light of a serious situation.
Yeah, make light of make light of a serious situation. You probably said dopamine, man. Which basically that's the chemical that get pushed out your head for enjoyment, man. Even these also even spoil your finger. They said your finger's going up and down. It releases a certain level of dopamine. That shit heavy as hell. That's why the scripture say he's wise than dead. You know, he seek out certain things, man.
Yes. It's Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the sun.
So it's a time for everything, man. Got it?
Jump down to verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace.
It says it's a time of love and it's time of hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And we can definitely see right now this is not the time of love. And we can definitely see right now this is not the time of peace. If this is the time of peace, why the hell shit going on over there in Ukraine, man? Because ultimately, the Lord, He's been bringing destruction upon this place, man. He's been bringing war upon this place. Why? Because the shit that these devils have been, they never thought that America was going to be touched. Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 4. The heart of the wise is in the house of the mourning.
They say it's the heart of the wise is in the house of the mourning. You know, you got it.
It says, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth.
In the house of mirth. You're having it's a fire outside. It's the fire line. And niggas just say, niggas start rapping. Niggas break dance, shit like that. But it's so far up in the elders. You know, niggas just is burning up while the building is burning down. Man. While we're in the spirit of getting the fuck out of there, man.
But who's they gonna vote next in the office?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're in the spirit of preparing for this major collapse. All right, that's what time we in. We're in the time of folly and mirth, man. You know,
You can tell a lot about a person's intellect when they take a serious situation and make light of it. Talk about discernment. You can tell a lot about somebody who take a serious situation. If that helicopter right there laying with a half-dead body in it by an accident, and then they get to the surgery room, you in there like, what we got here?
Yeah.
That's the last day you're going to work there. If they're going to say he has no seriousness in him, right? He don't know the difference between when we on break time and when we work. So the Lord said, look, there's a time for that. Good. You want to be happy? George like it. It's a time for that. And I gave you plenty of time for that. And now it's about to be a time. So your whole mind frame got to change with the times. Jake know about that. It's called changing with the times. Keeping up with the Joneses. All right. So you want to keep up? Keep up now, man. Understand that it's a time of war going on. And this war it's not a quick fuse that's just going to erase. Americans, that's another thing about the scripture to tell you that this the virgin daughter, right? Because she's untouched, virgin daughter of Babylon, and how she thinks that she will be a she will be a virgin forever.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
You think you'll be a virgin forever? Well, think about it in real life. You know, a young woman tell you, "I'm going to be a virgin forever." You're going to be like, "All right, okay, okay." Wait till you get the eyes. Right. And if you ain't done it then, wait till you get the college. I'm going to be a virgin forever. Well, that's how America is. Man, America, whenever you see patriotic Americans, just think about that virgin that says she always going to be a virgin forever. You're going to get touched because America hasn't seen that real war on its land. And that produces something called normalcy bias. That means that they think that they'll never get touched. Everything will consistently and constantly stay normal the way it is. Every day you're going to wake up and the society is going to be just like it is.
One of the type of wars in America that had was when she touched that stuff, the Civil War. But that's one, they say black on black crime, that's the biggest white on white crime ever. And then a Civil War, the North versus the East, was some bullshit, man. It's like, I say, the North versus the South, man, it's some bullshit. At the same time, so that's a big trust. If you go to 9/11 and things like that, that's America touching herself, man. And that's what a virgin do, especially when she play with herself, and for lack of better words, it comes to a point where she just speaks for the real thing, man.
It is. Because you know it ain't been the real thing because it don't feel like the real thing. You're gonna know when them troops in Ukraine, they got like I was going into the debate, they got the graves that they was burying people alive. The Russians buried them alive in there. If you said you had a choice, you gonna be Russia or you gonna be Ukraine? As every city they done jumped them into. If they said whatever they said, they had a grave for your ass alive. And they put a cross in the grave and buried the sand on top of the cross so that when you try to dig your way out, this shit gonna stop you. With how messed with the sand is just gonna stop you from getting out. See, war, they got a saying, war is sweet to the inexperienced. It look good. It look like, yeah, I can get in there. When you're young, you're playing war games and gotcha. You're playing laser tag, you think it's fun, right? Until you get your ass out there. And them shits is really true. And they hit somebody next to you, boom, and they brain matters on your shirt.
You gotta continue.
And you better continue to hold it down. Right? Matter of fact, continue to go the same way where that bullet came. So guess what, man? That whole spirit, that vibration around America, you gotta understand, this is a virgin mind frame. It's a virgin mentality these people got out here. They ain't never had no Russians on troops running through here. Some Chinese them big ass ship like B-52 joints just dropping things at you, right? They got missiles that hit you from 50 miles away. Them little short range off of a truck, just send it off on you. Hit you all the way from Augusta, right?
Got the drone activity like niggas could be in Florida. Like Florida's a heavy spot of these guys that send a drone strike in the Middle East and turn around and come back. And there's nobody that's controlling the car. It's nobody physically in the airplane. There's nobody that's good at just doing things in the back. Right. It's a nigga in Texas playing that shit like a PSP. You know, and that's the time of the point we're in. That's that comfortability. You sniping people from the house. You can do everything at the house now, man. Not think that everybody can ransack your shit, man.
And even the old technology hit you something different, right? You might be looking, NORAD might be, right? All planes and fighter jets is in the sky. We good, right? Y'all wasn't looking by sea. The sea, they come up pops a submarine with the Poseidon missile. All they gotta do is shoot right above sea level. They take New York City and Miami out in a few seconds, man. Don't you know more than 50% of the Americans live 10 miles from the shore? They can hit you with the submarines all day long. And guess who got the most submarines out of every nation in the world? North Korea. Is that an ally of America? Yeah, this place is good. As good as burnt, man. It's crispy already, and you got to walk around here with some type of Disneyland imagination. Like we got 50 more years. Well, what do you want to be when you grow up? I wish I would ask a kid, a young child, that question.
Right. He gonna be a nigga. I want to be a rapper, football player, anything. But again, just going back to the elder talking about, man, we shouldn't put our stock in this place. At the end of the day, this is gonna die. Yeah. Isaiah 47, verse 1 says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." That's it. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust." Come up there, high horse, man. You know, those 50 years after World War II, those decades are over with, man. Yeah? And it says, "Sit in the dust." That's a level of convenience.
But that time is about to stop.
That's why Bobby Brown had that tenderoni. I got my phone. That's why Bobby Brown had this song Tenderoni, he's my own, that's what it is, that's that tenderoni. And Lord, he's been around this tenderoni, which is who America,
With fire.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now I say, even like a young bride, she's burning in her lust. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She a hot girl, her cat hot, got to be too busy, but you know what I'm saying? That's like a normal thing.
That's what nations go through. War. All the Old Testament, you're dealing with war. Dealing with war. And so America, think about it. It's so crazy. And that's why you got so much women live. Let's be honest. Women live can only exist in a society that ain't never had war on its land. Think about it, man. Because once war comes down here, you ain't had it. You touch a woman. Once a woman get touched, she no longer tells tenant that. Yeah. She burn rats. It's the rat.
The cherry get popped, she walk a different way.
Even the women know it. They be like, something different about you.
That's not it.
Oh, it's it. Oh, what? Yeah, it's about that time. What you got? What you got? Yep. Bring out.
Isaiah 47:1, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, and on the ground there is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, thou shalt no more be called to and there's it. The Lord, he's been ready to destroy this place. He's been ready to take this place down and to bring the nation of Israel up. Yeah, so with that action, we pray this video was edifying. We want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Shalom, ETA, and Bob.
ETA, Bob.
Soon.
All right. Yeah. Death to America.